Hi everybody, it's John back again with another model final reveal video. This kit is actually a bit of a charmer. I actually had a lot of fun putting this thing together. It's quite large, as 1/172nd scale models go. The Sukhoi Su-21F from PM Models, which is actually a fictitious name. The actual kit aircraft itself is actually an Su-15 MS. It's quite a nice kit. It's not as good as the other offerings that are on the market, but as a PM model, it's not that bad. I'll just show you the underside because the underside is quite impressive. These missiles are seriously quite large, as you can see. Can't remember what they're called. Somebody in the comments, I'm sure, will put what they're called, but they are seriously big air interception missiles. And the Flagon is a seriously big aircraft. It's easily as big as a MiG-25 in terms of length, which is interesting because a MiG-25 is the same length as a Lancaster bomber. It was about 80 feet long. And the Su-15 was built to intercept high-speed Mach 2 bombers. It was actually originally built to intercept the B-70 Valkyrie, which ended up being cancelled because the aircraft was just too damn expensive. But they did do quite a few interceptions of reconnaissance aircraft, or attempted interceptions of some Blackbirds, but they never actually managed to intercept Blackbirds. But they did intercept some reconnaissance aircraft like U-2s, because these aircraft could get quite easily up to 65,000, 70,000 feet, no problem whatsoever. And of course, the Su-15 was the aircraft responsible for shooting down the jumbo jet from the Korean Airlines flight back in 1985. That was a real shame. But the PM model itself, what can I say about the PM model? It's very simple, very easy to put together. You do have to play around with the nail file to get the canopy to fit properly, but it will eventually fit quite nicely on the top of there. It's easy to paint. There are two definitive colour schemes for the Su-15. The Su-15A and 2C-B, original pre-production aircraft, were basically polished aluminium. They also built an Su-15. I think it was an M, and then they built the UM, which were again early production series Flagons, and these were finished in polished aluminium as well. And then they introduced what was called the MS variant of the Su-15, which is actually the kit that was modelled by PM Models here. And the SM, they were usually finished in the light aircraft grey, that similar colours to the MiG-31 and MiG-25s were finished in. And not all of them, a lot of them were still painted in polished aluminium, but some of them were painted in these colours, and I actually really like these colours. I think it sets the aircraft off quite nicely. There's a little bit of detail here that I wanted to show you in the air intakes, because the air intakes have got these sort of red ribbons inside the air intake splitter plates there. And there's a little trick to painting those. You have to paint the air intake splitter plate red, and then you paint over the top in the grey paint, very finely painting it so that you can get that little line there, which is highlighted there within the splitter plates. Quite nice. And again, you've got what I call the MiG interior green for the undercarriage wheel wells and everything else. No issues whatsoever, no problems whatsoever putting this kit, and it was a lot of fun to put together. And yes, it sits on its nose. Plenty of room in that nose cone for all the lead shot you're going to need, and you do need quite a bit because this thing is a tail setter without it. But yeah, sorry Bill, there's no pilot in there. PM Models never supply pilots in their models, but I'm sure that if you built a PM model Su-15, you could source a pilot for it somewhere. There is a seat in there to put him into situ. No issues whatsoever. Had a lot of fun building this, and I would recommend it. It's not as good as the other offerings of the Flagons on the market, but it was a lot of fun, and I did enjoy this build. It was quite good. It was quite fun to put together. There is one issue actually with this kit. the air intakes themselves, this part here where the 09 is on, they are not very easy to get into the correct location. There are no proper holes to locate those air intakes, and it is quite possible that if you do what I do, where you put the backing plate in first and then you put the air intake ear over the top, you can actually get them in the wrong position. So it's better to assemble this to this and then put the whole assembly onto the airframe before you put it together. And then you should get the alignment correct. I had to reposition that during its build. It was a bit of a headache at the time. So anyway, that's the SU21F from PM Models. It's really an SU15MS. I did enjoy this kit. I would recommend this kit. It's not a bad kit to have a bash at. Any of you guys who fancy a paint mule, yeah, have a bash at this. It's not a problem. It does have quite a bit to offer, the modeler. Anyway, that's the end of this final reveal video. I hope this video has been of use. And I hope you tune in to my future videos. There's a few videos coming up. And I'm working on the History X video. That should be coming out pretty soon as well, for the first video in that series. It's going to be quite lengthy, but it will be full of information. It should be quite interesting too. So I'll speak to you for the next one. Any queries, just pop them in the comments underneath, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye for now.